Okay, hello. So I wanted to kind of like think about what you should take and what we should change probably in how we play Vayne, right? So we all know that in higher elos, all that Vayne should do and all that Vayne is able to do is usually just all in, and especially in top lane where you kind of want your wave state to be under your turret, so you're able to dive enemy top laner, or sorry, all in enemy top laner way faster, correct? So but thing is, the problem with that is that in higher elo, this will probably never ever happen. Like it's really hard to freeze your wave or have your wave under here, under your own turret, and to have it way like easier for yourself to basically all in, right? Like it's it's a really hard task to do. So what I was thinking with the build that I have. Oh my god, my ping is insane. For the build path that I have, the builds that I had is that so we're going for late game, obviously, right? Like Vayne obviously doesn't really have the best late game, but we still want to have these runes because of what that is coming next, right? What I'm gonna be building and stuff. So everyone knows that on Vayne, usually, as I said, you want to be taking the attack speed shard and not the AD shard, right? But in this case scenario, I want to be able to have the movement speed shard, right? Just because of my build, I have celerity and everything, right? And I want to be scaling in this specific scenario. So I think movement speed shard is just the way to go. Like if you don't really have movement speed shard, like everything is needed on this champ, right? Like you need the attack speed shard, you need the AD shard on the first row. Second row, you do need the AD shard and the movement speed shard as well, right? The only way you can basically achieve or like have the movement speed shard, or you want to be able to have it, is by just completely skipping the attack speed part. And because the thing is with attack speed, you don't really need it on Vayne top, I think. Does it does feel really good to have attack speed shard, but I think not having AD is a bigger problem. So what I have instead, like we have alacrity, right, in top lane. Like mages in mid lane usually have attack speed shard to be able to CS better on their turret, right? Like, and it's only on their turret. It's not really for the trade itself in here. Like, I don't think you are able to trade as much if you're into like a mage against a mage matchup, right? Unless it's like a matchup where I don't know. You both have Aerie. You want to attack speed, like you want the attack speed to be able to auto attack him maybe one more time or something like that. You know, it's just whatever. But in top lane, usually you don't really get to like all in, right? So what I want to be starting for with my item build, like everything in here. If I were to go this is the normal build, right? If I were to go these item sets and like starter items basically, what happens is that I get the 10 AD, I get an 80 health, and I also get the 3% lifesteal on my D blade. But if you were to like, and also obviously I get the pot, right? The pot is 120 health on top of it, right? But let's say we were to start with this item build instead, right? Like started items, or basically we get the longsword, right? Which is 10 AD, and from the health pot itself we get 200, right? So basically what I'm technically building is a ruby crystal with on top of it, like with an extra 50 health, right? The ruby crystal on top of my longsword, so I do be getting more sustain in terms of the health, right? But obviously, if I were to auto attack more in top lane, I would be getting the lifesteal value from the longsword, or sorry, from the D blade, and in that case, yes, I will be getting more health from that, right? But what else does my longsword give me is the fact that I'm now ahead 200 extra gold from the D blade, because if you were to, let's say, buy and sell my D blade, right? Like if I were to buy it right now, I'm selling it for 200. So let's say, or sorry, 180, right? Like just to be specific, right? I'm just gonna round it off like 200, right? And 450 minus 200 is like 250, right? 270, let's say, whatever. So we are technically getting 250 less gold, correct? Because we're gonna be selling this later on, anyways, right? The 3% lifesteal though is really fucking OP. The 3% lifesteal is really fucking OP. Like you kind of might just always need that, But with this build that I am doing, like let's say Absorb Life and Fleet Footwork, this is way better because I am getting that 3% life steal anyways, right? Like I am kind of making up to it by going that. And this way, now I have access to just buying Rectrix on the first base. I have access to maybe if I want to go crit, I can just buy the crit items. Like for example, if I have only 600 gold, I can buy the slingshot. If I have extra gold, like if I there's no way you get to 1,300 gold like on the first base, like just doesn't happen ever. But you could try, right? Like if you do get a really good base on your like on your first base and you get to actually level up and CS well in lane, I think maybe you could like even start with BF, which never happens really. I don't really recommend that one, but you can get the Rictrix starter, right? Like you don't really need to be like worried up anything else, and I think this is why it's really good overall. So that's about it.